get away, but I could use some company. If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see that.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. It is me, Ilyasa Simpson. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Charge Room Show. I am your host here tonight on Where's My Kings? Hashtag the men's locker room. So tonight is all about the men, real topics of men, by men, for men, just all about the men, right? So like us on Facebook, The Charge Room, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. Click on the bell, subscribe with the notifications that will pop up every time that we are on the air. So yes, tonight is all about the Kings. And we had a great time on last night on Queens Must Wear Crowns. I dedicated that night because in the charge room, as I am Minister Charge, aka Coach Illy, I wear those two hats, and I had a healing strategy through writing. And what I did was I created an anthology to help people heal through writing. So I started that journey in September of 2020, and launch date is on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on Zoom. And we have the invitations up live on all the social media platforms. And we are asking that everyone come help us celebrate our book launch. For the name of the book is A Rise to Royalty. And that's what we did. We worked out all our kinks, all our ugly. We dug deep down in our souls and pulled out what was hurting us, pulled out what was holding us back from ourselves, pulled out us standing in our own way. We pulled that out to feel better, do better, look better, walk better, talk better, right? Because we released. Sometimes you have to deal and feel it so you can heal. So that's what we did with our writing journey. Again, writing is a strategy to relieve all the stresses, the strains, the pain that you have deep inside your soul. And that's what we do here in the Charge Room. So please join us on Saturday at 11:30, and it's from 11:30 to 12:30 on Zoom. And we will love to have you because we want to do a super launch, and we would like for you to help us get our book on the map. Let everybody know that we are here, even working towards getting on the bestsellers list. So please come in and stop by, join us. Music will be playing, we'll be talking, we'll be interviewing, we'll show a little bit of movies and just talk about our journey. So we appreciate you so much. So this is what we're going to do. We came on tonight because the men wanted to talk about what pressures men go through and different ways to cope to get through their get through. So some of them kings are on the way, but we do have King KY's here to start us off, and we're just going to pop him up right now. Hi, King. How are you tonight? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Peace and blessings, Queen. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well, sir.
I was just saying, pardon me, I'm a little under the weather as far as my throat, but I'm here to make the best of it. All right.
I appreciate you. So let everybody know about your new radio show. Tell them about your radio show.
Oh, wow. Okay. Our station is Livation Radio Network. It's based out of Atlanta. The main base is out of Atlanta, but we're all in different areas that we connect and send it out and do it internationally. I am DJ K Wise. My show is known as the After Work Show, where I play mostly old school R&B. I do a mixture of everything, but I always like to make it comfortable for everybody. Say if you're coming home after work, you can tune in and listen to some jams that take you back in time or take you in the present where you are, where it's like, yeah, I got that. So my show airs every Monday through Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. There's some times where I actually go live, or most stuff is pre-recorded, depending upon the time and date. Excuse me. But when I go live, I go crazy, and it's nothing. It's just everything is just to enjoy and have fun. And I appreciate you giving me this time to produce and project my thing. And congratulations to you all on your best. I'm already stating it. Best-selling book coming this week. I will support. I got you. I love you and adore you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What we are supposed to do when we have gifts and talents and the ability to share, we're supposed to share. So us not sharing would be not a good thing, because that's what we are all about, to be about love, right? So
Oh,
I am definitely a person to love. I'm a person to share because I care and because I love you as well. There is no way I'm not going to allow you to sit here and not talk about your accolades and how we can support you. And because, you support me. So why not support you back? Come on, come
well,
on now.
speaking of that, what are your plans tomorrow?
My plans tomorrow, I
Yeah.
have I have actually I have to set up because I will be speaking on a speakers platform, a summit, a Black Summit Fest for 2021.
Right.
It will be actually August 25th to the 28th. It's similar to the TED Talks.
Okay.
So I will have my own platform and my own workshop. It's something definitely new for me. I appreciate being walking in favor to be a success coach, currently a relationship strategist, but just the part that I can be able to use my gift of voice to help move people in a direction to where they can be empowered, motivated, and find their capabilities and just run with them. So I'm using my gift, my platform to go to higher levels. And I'm gonna add, I am in the process of writing scripts for short movies.
Okay.
I'm writing a 10-week series for a season.
Mhm.
Um, and it will be airing on a network in the near future. So I definitely have my hands busy. My writing is definitely coming on out of me. Again, for someone that hated to read, I don't even understand how God is moving me in this direction, because I promise you, this was not my dream life, but it is actually working out for me. And I just continue to walk in my favor because I do appreciate my ability, my spiritual development and elevation that allows me to finally understand that this is my ministry, this is my calling. So incorporating it all in the charge room to help people, um, lift them up to another level just by walking and leading by example. I'm never one to try to convince anyone of anything because that's not my job, but to walk in a way of utilizing your talents that you were blessed with. If you don't, that's just pure robbery. So just like you have your voice, you have your musical abilities, and you could use that to soothe someone's soul as they driving home from work. Like, that's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you that you are taking that and utilizing it to help others. And all of us, we are all talented. We just have to find what our niche is and then just walk in our favor. So again, thank you so much. But that's my My schedule this week is really, really busy, but next week I'm free. So if you need me for something, I got you next week. So
Well,
we're
since
gonna get we're gonna get through this week because I have so much stuff to do and my schedule is really swamped. But next week I have free spots and we can work something out.
absolutely, you let me know because I'm gonna put you on it. We're gonna talk about it over there. We're gonna get your word out. You know what I mean?
Okay, thank you so much. So I have the other kings coming on. King Father Wise, King Herman, King Joshua. Welcome, gentlemen, to the platforms of Where's My King? Hashtag the men's locker room. And tonight is all about what you stated that you want to talk about. And we're talking about men, the pressures that they go through, and how to cope about it. So, King KY, since you were on first, um, give a topic or scenario of something that men um go through that may trigger a pressure in their life, maybe about relationship, maybe about children, family, jobs, you know, a career choice, money. Like, I know there's so many things, but I'm a woman, so I'm this is not my area. So I'm this is all for y'all. So you can start it out.
All right. Well, first of all, peace to the kings. How y'all doing, brothers? Um, I look at some of the pressures. Number one, I served in the service, military, in the army for over 23 years, and a lot of things I've seen and done and been through that triggers thoughts of, how can I say? Well, they can call it PTSD. It used to be called shell shock back in the days. Ain't too much of a difference. Um, but I can say that one of the most tragic incidences within my life that took me to another place, a very dark, dark place, was when my father was murdered back in 1989. My father's a well-known minister back in Brooklyn. Shout out to all my Brooklyn family. Um, Reverend Irvin Wilson. He was killed in his church by some robbers. And I happened to have been overseas in Germany at the time. And when they told me they had to take away my weapon and all the stuff because we were doing a live fire exercise and a lot of things went down. When I got the word that they told me that my father was dead, I just completely went blank. And the next thing I know, I hear people calling me, not realizing that I'm running through the fields and the jungles and all that stuff, just running, not realizing what's going on. And it was very hard for me to deal with. And I mean, it's a lot better now, but doesn't mean that it's always 100% correct. So it took me to a place where almost I had thoughts of contemplating suicide. And I can truly say that that's one of the dark demons that I was fighting for a very long time. And one of the outlets that I found within myself was the music. If it wasn't for music in itself, I probably really wouldn't be here. I really wouldn't, because it has carried me through some of my very dark days. So that's why when I would talk about music, how music is the universal language, it reaches everybody in its own way, whatever it is. It gives you a different effect. For me, it saved me. I'm going to say it like that. I saved myself through the love of music. So that's what we're talking about. And I must say, I got to include, because it wouldn't be if it wasn't for peers, people that love me, family members, workers, and so forth, so on, that we talk about, have programs, the the mental talks, going to the doctor, seeing, talking, and try to talk it out, going to the group counseling, and so forth, and so on. A lot of these things help edge me along, but it was the music that really just I gravitated to hold on to for the most, that carried me through, and so that's my platform on that. So I'm gonna pass the mic or pass the torch to whoever wants to run with it. Kings, the floor is open.
Can you hear me? I'm on
We can
mute.
hear you,
Yeah,
Father.
here you
Oh,
fall.
you can. All right, my bad. Peace, everybody. How y'all
All
doing?
right.
Yeah, talking about that stress and PT, uh, when I was younger, I did something. It's in the book. I ain't giving it away. You're gonna have to buy it. It's in the book, right? um, I gave myself stress and PTSD and pressure and all that from my actions, right? And it's so many things that put black men under stress, like the biggest stress, it's not a no, it is a stress, but it's not a real worry. I'm concerned, but I'm not, oh my God, oh, what am I gonna do, oh, what am I gonna do, oh, this, oh God, oh God. I'm not doing that. But one of the issues I'm having today is, when I leave my house, man, am I gonna come back home? you know um am I gonna get pulled over by the police and get killed for a minor traffic infraction? It's one of the things I worry about, like big time right now. And I don't I don't carry myself as such, like, like I said, leave the house always looking nice. My hat is on right, my pants ain't sagging, I don't look like it, you know what I'm saying? But it don't matter, because they got to the point where they can't kill all of us. They started killing our women and children and pulling people out of the cars and for stupid stuff, man. And I'd be worried about that sometime, man. And then that's one of my things. But the way I deal with it, I just make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing behind the wheel of the car. Um, One other thing is always taking care of the babies, no matter how old they are, making sure that they straight. That can be a little tiresome, a little pressing, but you know what? As the provider and as the man, as the foundation of my cipher, that's what I'm charged with, that duty, regardless. And then sometimes I feel like, damn, am I living up to it? Am I doing a good job? That's just me, but I know I'm doing a good job, but some days my brain telling me I ain't doing a good job and you need to be doing more. But that's not what the kids say. That's just me. Um, I mean, pressures at work don't have anymore, really, because I just mind my business, and I only got 10 months, 12 days, 2 hours, 2 weeks, 40 minutes. I ain't got that much long left. That's it. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't doing nothing. Next time y'all see me, I'm gonna be working at Ralph Lauren. I'm gonna be a brand ambassador. I ain't doing nothing. That's it. So I mean, that's just a little couple of the things that I worry about. And I was just thinking, like I said earlier, when I said some guys don't handle stress and pressure well, because they start getting real aggressive towards their families, their woman. There's a lot of stuff that they do. Others, like KY's listen to music. I like to make videos and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And some positive stuff. But there's a lot of brothers who can't handle that, man, and because of that, people suffer. So we just, look, everybody. I know you're not supposed to talk and tell everybody everything, but you need to find that one person that you can tell everything to. And that's just how I've been surviving. I got one or two people that I can just tell everything to. Because if you keep bottling it up and you don't talking about it, that leads to all the other stuff we was talking about, man. Suicide, and stress, and heart attacks, and all that other stuff. So you got to find somebody, that one person you can tell everything to. And, and the key with that is always be honest, open-minded, and willing. And you'll get through. Peace, y'all.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
With that big job?
That's Ja there.
John look like he sleep.
Nah,
Nah,
he contemplating. I see him.
nah. I just, I'm always in my mental. So, doing it now. Ain't too much in that. You know. I don't know who's next up. Herm? Me or Herm?
It's either or, man. If you want me to go, no problem, man.
Where you can, bro.
All right, bro. I'll take it. And things that men deal with, and a lot of men sometimes don't say it, is when you were that dude back in the days, and now you have changed, did a whole 360, and you got somebody that want to take you back to there, but they're not built like that, and you know that, and you trying your best to hold it, but then you see somebody that knew you, and they look at you like, yo, you gonna stand for that? Really? Oh, yo, he became a sucker. And then he go back and tell the whole neighborhood. And then, the man call you up like, yo, what's going on? What happened? And it's just like, when you move like that now, and Father Wise said it, you said it best, man. How we hold ourselves sometimes. We our own biggest critics, and we could be doing a good job, but to us, it's not that level that we know it should be. But to everybody else, it's like, no, you're doing well. Like when I was little, just playing basketball and playing for my father, like he used to yell at me sometimes. I'm like, yo, what do you want me to do? I'm doing the best I can. I'm good. And it wasn't until I got older, he was just like, yo, man had his hand down, you can shoot, let it go. But when you're playing with a system and your coach kind of didn't believe in you, it messes with your psyche. But you're good. Because as a senior to sit the bench and not be in the championship game, and then after the game is over, and you trying to tell the coach how to win, because I'm playing with a 7-footer and I'm playing with a dude that is a bruiser, and they got a little guy on a bruiser and got the big guy on the 7-footer, and I'm just like, yo, why don't you switch them? Come high, I'm low, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, whatever. Go over there. We lose, man. President come down. He looks at me. He's mad. He's like, yo, why you ain't play? I was like, you got to take it up with him. And my outlets have always just been playing basketball, writing, even rapping, and it got to the point where if somebody really pissed me off, I go write a hot 16 about them, say to somebody, and they start looking like, yo, who that? But it just comes because like I said, it's like I'm a nice guy, but it's like, yo, I'm a beast as well. And I know if that B side come out, it's not gonna be pretty. But I like I said, I thank God that I've been able to release when I can release, hold back, and then when I have to step up, I step up. But those is some of the pressures that like I said, I deal with, and sometimes like I said, I'll be just let me sit in the corner, let me chill.
A hot 16 though? Let me find out. I got some beats over here.
I know, man. I know. The last time all I had was YouTube. Yo, John, they was going in too. Yo, he was like this. Your father's like this. Yo, K, what you think about this? Yo, they go K like, your father, what you think about this? And I'm like, I got no equipment.
Yeah, they will ping pong you that way, but I have to piggyback off that what you initially said. When you've been in the streets as long as what I'm saying, some of us have, done a lot of the things that a lot of us have done in the streets, and we have at this age of maturity, and we realize like that's not how we're supposed to be getting by today. You know what I'm saying? We make changes, we become family men, we become community men, we try to be the voice of the people. Then somebody will come by and test your handle like they don't know or they don't remember what what your anger is like. You know what I'm saying? And people are agitators, especially when it comes down to dealing with negative behavior, because they're in a situation, they're gonna always want to keep you in that same situation. And they'd be like, yo, John, how you let that slide? How you let him say that little slickness or whatever the case may be? And sometimes, and not sometimes, majority of the time, it's like he already know what it is. You know what I mean? In my head, it's like he already know what it is. I don't have to put on a show for anybody and understand, you know what I'm saying, what's worth it, what's this and what's that. You contemplate things when you get older. Now, when I was younger, a little more of a hothead, I would have flew off the handle if somebody said something crazy. But that's not where I am today. Um, Also, too, as a man, when you grow as a man, it's different triggers. You have society that paints the man as he's supposed to be the foundation, he's supposed to be the role model. Then, in the same breath, emasculate the man. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, like he's supposed to be this leader, this foundation, this strong security minded family protector. And then in the next breath, he's supposed to be sensitive, wearing thongs and whatever else little sweet things that, you know what I'm saying, that he's not. You know what I'm saying? Because you look at it, you know what I'm saying, the type of man that majority women want nowadays is a soft dude. You know what I mean? They say they want a strong and everything else, and people are trying to live up to these standards. But in all reality, it's somebody that they can control. And that's sad. And that's sad because if you're a secure man and you're a strong man and you're willing to put the burden of society on your shoulders and the weight of the earth, you know what I'm saying, on your shoulders and carry it, you know what I'm saying? It's a trigger because individuals don't want you to be that kind of man. They want you to be a secondary man. They want you to put everybody before you. They want you to hide behind the woman. They want you to hide behind the Hispanic. They want you to hide behind, you know what I'm saying, the Caucasian or whatever. And it's like us as black men, we face so much out here. We face so much. We're like the low man on a totem pole when it comes down to success, money, education, jobs, all these different things. We're like the low man on a totem. An immigrant can come into the country and be ahead of you. And it's sad.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter if you have the same education as everyone else. And it's strange and it's funny because I was in the US Marshal office one time and it's right there in Alexandria. And at the top was the white man. They had like a totem pole. Top was a white man. The next was the white woman. Then it was the black woman. Then it was the Hispanic woman. Then it was the Asian. Then it was the Hispanic man. And then at the very last of the rung was the black man. And I could have looked at it and said, well, we carry all of that. We carry all of these individuals. I could look at it on that perspective. But the reality of it is, we're the ones that's getting messed on in the society. So we have to always, you know what I'm saying, be on the defensive. We're on the defensive all the time. They talk about PTSD and mental health. It's positions that we're put in. We're in survival mode every time we wake up and put our feet on the floor.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? At no given time is can we say that we are not in fear. And not necessarily being fear as a coward, but in fear. And when you walk out the door, like Father Wild said, you might not come back. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's incarceration, is being, you know what I'm saying, murdered on the streets or what have you. It's the whole point of you can be a righteous person, do everything right, and you still might not make it home. And it's like, what is it that about us that we can't feel safe in society like everyone else.
Shoot, I could tell you.
You know what I mean?
I could tell you.
And it's so, and people talk about, why individuals do drugs, do alcohol, and everything else, because we're trying to numb ourselves, you know what I'm saying, from what we're dealing with on a daily basis. We're trying to numb ourselves. Like, could you really imagine a white person going through what we go through on a daily basis? No, that'll never happen. And it's funny even with that. I think about when they stormed the Capitol. Could you imagine a, 500 black men and women storming the Capitol and then nothing happened and getting that type of result? And then the first individual who was actually sentenced for the storm of the Capitol, all he got was probation and a $500 fine. We would have been thrown under the federal prison,
It would have been another bloody Sunday.
of course. So when you talk about triggering, you know what I'm saying, and the pressures that we deal with, it's hard to just speak on one particular thing because we could talk about fatherhood, we could talk about relationships, we could talk about economics, we could talk about education, we can just talk about plain survival on a daily basis. When it comes down to it, high blood pressure, the stress, the
Mhm.
stress.
The Grays.
You know what I'm saying? Indeed, the grades. You know what I'm saying? Can you think about like life expectancy is what, 72? You retire at what, 65? So you mean to tell me from 65 to 72, I only got 7 years to live?
Damn.
You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
that's right there within itself is pressure. So you're trying to enjoy life during the whole point in time of you working and everything else. You know what I mean?
So, like for you, what is your coping mechanisms that you do when you deal with
My
like?
coping mechanism for the most part is I write.
Mhm.
I write. And I build, you know what I'm saying, on different subjects with different individuals. Like we have these bills on the regular. You know what I'm saying? And also too, on our new show we're gonna have a definitely a good bill. But
Yeah.
um everything is real, man. Like helping out these babies. I remember like when I was coaching at Malvern, that was so therapeutic for me. Like coaching football with Keto Lockwood out there. And when we get out there on the field, just smelling the field, smelling the grass, and being able to guide these young men, that was therapy for me. That was therapy. But when you think that everything is okay, it's not. You know what I mean? Everything is a temporary path until we get to the point where we acknowledge that there's an issue. We acknowledge that we need to step up. We acknowledge the fact that things need to change. And until we can do what's needed to be done to make the change, we will always be under this type of pressure. You understand me? We deal with maintaining our anger, you know what I'm saying? Watching our mouths, knowing what to say, when to say it, and how to say it, so we don't get put in a position where we be the next George Floyd. That is pressure for us.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine? Can you imagine how, like, I was talking to someone, how demasculated the black man is? Because truthfully, you want to be looked at as the man in your house, but when you step out the door, you ain't even a man in this world. You a little boy. And you come home and you want to be looked at as a man, but in all reality, when you walk out that door, you a little boy. You got to make sure that you do not say the wrong things to, you know what I'm saying? I hate to put it that way, but master, your boss, whomever, if you're not working for yourself, that's what it is. You are being demasculated every time you walk out the door, and then you come home to disrespect. Sometimes, some people,
Ugh.
you know what I'm saying? And it's like you're not a man. They have buck broke so many of us mentally, not physically, mentally. They have demasculated us so much of us mentally that when it comes down to it, the pressure to cope, that's why they always they try to put labels on what's going on with us, but they don't never want to address the issue of what's going on or what's happening with us. You tell a person, I'm 48 years old. I'm a grown ass man. When I walk out this door and walk in this job, I'm not looked at as a 48-year-old grown ass man. I'm looked at as an individual who needs to shut up and take these orders or follow these instructions. Or what the parents used to say back in the day, do as I say do, not as I do. Because they'll take a break for an hour, you take a break for an hour, you going home. You can just imagine, like, and we're men. So I know that everybody understanding where I'm coming from with this. There's at no given time can you sit up there and you say, well, I am the man that I want to be. I'm the man of my house. I'm the man of my universe. Just because you bring home a paycheck don't make you a man. They give out working papers at 14. You understand me? It's some things, it's some standards that we have to stand up for and we have to deal with. There's some things that we have to address. How we're going to be looked at in not only at home but abroad. You know what I mean? I do not adhere to domestic violence because I grew up in an abusive household. But domestic violence is on various different levels. A man is being mentally and emotionally abused every day, majority of the time by his woman. Then he is forced to go outside and be the burden bearer and take shit off this white man or this Asian or whoever is the boss and come back in and turn around and be mentally and emotionally abused again. So what he does is he'll sit there and he'll get his weed. He'll get his drink, his alcohol. He'll get his coke. He'll get whatever drug it is to numb him for the pain. Black men are suffering every day. Every day. Someone is always trying to tell a black man what he can do and what he can't do. And it's the reality that we all face. If you're married, you got a new mama. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and it's the reality. You didn't just get a wife, you got a new mama. Someone who's gonna tell you when to do, what to do, how to do, whatever the case may be. You like, damn.
What to wear?
Yeah. How long you gonna be gone? When you coming back? What you gonna do? Who you with? Who you gonna be with? You're going through all these different things. You're like, dang. But they tell me that I'm the burden bearer. I'm the head of this house. I'm the king of this castle. That's BS. All of that is BS. You're not the head of that house. You're not the king of that castle. None of the above. Because the first thing they say is, what's that? What's that? A happy wife is a happy life for her. It's a happy life for her. Ask a man what he has to do to keep that happiness. What's the burden that he has to take on? What's the pressures that he have to deal with?
Maintain it.
You know what I'm saying? And not only to maintain her happiness, but to maintain his sanity. His sanity. So when we talk about coping skills, you know what I'm saying? What do we do that is not destructive to our own personal well-being? You know what I mean? During these periods and times. As men, we should have these type conversations because that will alleviate a lot of the pressures. Growing up, we used to watch TV, and every husband or every spouse, like male spouse, before he went home, he went to the bar. I never understood why he would stop at the bar before he go home. Because he's happily married, right? Or he happily in a relationship. But why must he go get drunk before he come home? You know what I mean? And there's nothing against the sisters. You know what I mean? Nothing against them. You know what I mean? But the truth is the truth. We deal with pressures that is hard to explain, or if you're not a man, you will never understand. And have to deal with it on a consistent basis.
But see,
Help.
even with that, and some of them couldn't understand where this is the reason why most black men would either go to the bar, pour that stress into the bottle, pour it into the bottle, from the bottle to the cup, from the cup to your mouth, from your mouth back into you. So all that you thought you took out from the job, you done put it right back in you, and now you're taking it home. And then you got a whole nother level to deal with when you get home if there's issues within the house. Because you're already dealing with the pressures of what was happening on the job. You don't want to come home and hear anything in the home to disrupt. It's already. So it's putting more pressure up on top of you. You know.
Let brother, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Let brother Herm get some because we running out of time.
Oh,
I was looking at the time. Pardon me though, but we trying to be fair.
yeah, Herm, I think you muted. Check your mic.
Great build, Almighty. Great build.
Still can't hear you, bro.
You heard me, John?
Yeah, I heard you. But but can't hear Herm.
Right.
No, we can't hear you.
Nah, not at all, Herm. Not yet.
I know what happened. She pulled the plug on him. You use that when I tell you to.
Nah.
Ain't
You
nobody
want
tell
to hear something funny?
There you
So
go.
I'm thinking it's my mic, and I'm putting up everything, and then I look at the screen. I had pressed the mute button by accident. The pressures.
Yeah, whatever. Yo, y'all are funny. I love y'all.
But what Ja was saying was just straight truth, man. And we look at a lot of things when we little, it don't make sense. Then as we get older, we like, oh snap, I understand now. And the other thing, Ja, that really happens is a lot of time when you become that man and you get married or you get that girl, you become isolated in a bubble. And it's hard to find people that's like you, that think like you, and can vibe with you. Because I look at it sometimes when I used to go to Martha's Vineyard, with my aunt. Go out there. It's no longer, you see black and black. You see black and white. You see black and something else, and then you got to be like, is this dude really from where I'm from? Can we have a real conversation? Or do I have to give him the watered down one just to have a conversation with him? Only talk sports and, the weather.
Mm.
Out.
Yeah.
That was another one that, that movie, and but I think now we're starting to get back, and what you just described, Ja, I felt like that. You know what I'm saying? In my last relationship with my ex, you know what I'm saying? And for me to even heal, took this show coming on, me and K Wise and Father Wise, even yourself, and just slowly able to bring it out, because I was thinking about ways like, yo, how I'm gonna set this up? How I'm gonna go after her and not get caught? Who am I calling?
You preach.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, who am I calling that
Right.
don't really care, owe me a favor anyway, and handle this?
Right.
But then I had to, like I said, I had to let it go. But it was hard when I got people coming to me and say like, yo, Herm, you punched her? I did what? And it's a good thing that a couple of people that know me is like, yo, first of all, if you hit her, she wouldn't be standing.
Right.
And I was like, I got sisters, got mothers. My grandmother was my heart before she died. I'm not touching you. I'm walking away. I'll run away. I'm not touching you.
But pardon me for cutting,
Yeah, man.
that right there, they look at that as, and that's something I do, like get into an argument or whatever, I shut it down. I walk off. I'm not entertained. But they look at that as you being weak, but not understanding that you're trying to gather yourself. You're trying to make sure you don't make a mistake, or you don't make an error, or a reckless move, or whatever. And that to me takes a lot from a man. You know what I mean? That he can sit there and stop and understand, like, I got sisters, I got daughters, I got a mother, I got a grandmother, I got female cousins, and I don't want them going through that. So why would I, entertain it? So you try to stop it.
But you know what? Mostly, that's why it got to a point that I had literally was so mad and so angry at all that stuff that I used to talk to her with my damn hands in my pockets. Right? That's how I used to deal with it. Just keep my hands in my pockets and talk, because it takes me a second to think about pulling my hands out, coming back with the ricochet rabbit, right? And then after that, the police coming.
Right.
911. OJ messed it up for all of us, man. You can't even do that. You can't even do that to a woman. You do that, she could hit you, she could do whatever. But if you do that right there, who you talking? Oh my God, it killed me. Like, that's it. You know what it is already. You might as well grab your cigarettes and your last little drink, sit on the front stoop and wait for the boys to show up.
But I'm gonna tell you something, and last week was a jewel for me. Last Wednesday was a jewel for me, because before I got on to the show and listened to the ladies speak, I was listening to the ladies speak for a while, and I was watching through YouTube their interactions, their thought processes, how they see things, or whatever the case may be, and it was interesting to me. And I think that a lot of times we need to do that. Just listen to their conversations with each other to see how they think, or how they look at us.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? Before we actually engage. Because trust me, it was an education. It was an education for me. It was a true education for me. Before I got on, I sat there and I watched through the YouTube because like this here is being streamed through YouTube. And I watched and I listened to everything that they were saying. Some of it was shocking, some of it wasn't. But just to listen to their conversation was very educational for me.
Yo,
I agree.
there's a I forget the movie where the black girl brought home a white guy and Bernie Mac was the father.
Oh, guess who's coming to dinner?
Oh, guess who's
Yo,
coming to dinner?
there's a scene in that movie when they was all sitting outside drinking their little wine when her and the white guy broke up and she was like, I'm gonna call him. And they was like, don't you touch that phone, make him suffer. He'll call you. Yo, I got that scene somewhere. I want to play that for you guys one day because I was just sitting there, like you said, Joe. I was sitting there and I was like, yo, look how they all just came together for that one cause real quick. And they was like, and they was all on the same page. Like, nah, you don't call him back. You let him wait, make him suffer. And I was like, well, damn, why we gotta suffer? Why, like, yo, when I'll tell you, when women get together, boy, you don't be in the room because you might get lynched.
No, they it's always a negative
when it comes to
when it comes to us that we're cheaters, liars, and all this other thing because
well, my answer is to that, right?
Of course.
Hold on.
But
some of that responsibility.
But no.
That falls on us. On us.
Wait, hold on. All the above is caused by the Son of Man, but the sun and moon both have attracting powers.
True.
Right? So being the fact that we know and understand that the sun and moon both have attracting powers on this planet, which, makes the high tides and the low tides. When you're dealing with individuals, just like you have the opportunity to do something, she has the opportunity to do something. It's about the individual. See, when you get a person that's disloyal and all these other things, or infidelity and all these other things, that's you. Not, because you attract yourself. Wherever level that you are in life, that's you. At some point, see, this is where we fail to realize. When we meet people on the same level that we are on. When we leave people, we either outgrow them or they outgrew us and moved on to another level.
Yes.
That is the reality that we have to understand. Just like, you know what I'm saying? You can, Father Wise, I love you. I love you.
Yeah.
You was a whore.
Who?
Don't.
Oh, did you just say that on national TV?
No, what he didn't say was you was a whoremonger.
Yeah. but hey. Hold on. Just like at one point I was, like at one point KY was, I'm pretty sure Brother Herman was. At one point we were. And
no, I wasn't.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm not even. We're not going to go through that. We only got a little bit of time.
Keep going, John.
The reality of it is
guilt.
We meet people on that level.
Okay.
Right. We were in the city. Just like when we was running the streets, right? We were running the streets. We was checking for that baddie in the streets. She had that round the way girl swag with her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair.
At least 2
Lisa,
pair.
Pamela, Angela, Renee.
You know what I mean? That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
That's what we wanted because that's where we were. When you outgrew that and wanted some other type of woman, L7 or a businesswoman or whatever the case may be, that's when you outgrew that.
But the bottom line, like you say, who does it come back down to? The responsibility is upon self.
It's upon self, but also too, both parties play a role.
Absolutely. But
When
the
she talking
decision
about,
maker
she say that
for what
he's a dog or he dogged her or whatever the case may be, you have to look in that mirror and understand, like, when an individual that you're dealing with as a helpmeet, a Boaz, and all that other stuff, you're on the same plane of energy. If he ain't shit, then you ain't either.
Mm.
Well, you know what I always say
You know what I
to
mean? You
to
have to.
the
for what hold on. I agree to disagree because
yeah.
there's a factor where if I'm not sugar honey iced tea doesn't mean that my individual is, because again we two different people on two different planes even though we have a level of understanding. What I do doesn't make or reflect of her conscience at the top because it's my decision. If I choose to mess up, she doesn't mess up. That doesn't mean that she ain't sugar honey iced tea because I messed up.
The whole thing is, hold on. Life is 360. Life
Exactly.
is
That doesn't
360.
mean, but if she's
And
not
at
doing
that given point, justice comes around.
it, yeah, but for who? It can't
But
come around
but
for
but the
her
whole
to
thing is,
do it
every
for.
one of us is going to deal with justice.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of us is going to deal with justice. If I fuck up a relationship right now, I expect maybe not the next relationship or the relationship afterwards, I'm going to get fucked over.
You if you expect that, that's you predetermining that now.
No. The whole thing is that's reality. That's reality.
It's a but
You're never going to get out of this unscathed. You're
no,
never
no, no,
going to
no.
get out of it
I
unscathed.
understand that, but for you to predetermine that it's
No,
going to
it's
come
not
back
predetermined. It's
at some
reality.
time.
At
Yeah,
some point in time, you're going to get scraped.
okay, but
You're
that doesn't mean that it's the same reflection from the past. It means
it's
that what you're dealing with in the now is the now. We this just like there's the Old Testament, there's the New Testament, and there's the Now Testament.
right.
You know what I'm saying? All
Mhm.
things coincide with one another, but they're still within their own perspective. Lessons
Mhm.
that we learn from the old is brought into the new factors. So the new factors we're studying the old.
Mhm.
Same thing as the now factors looking at the New Testament as the Testament of history. This is the cycle of life in which we are dealing with our seeds within seeds.
Right.
So
I tell
as
you, we might
now
need
now
to do this,
take
but
it back because we got a few minutes. What I'm
we
saying
got.
is
I think we got like a minute
This
left.
a series.
we
This a
gotta bring
series. This
this
a
back.
series.
We
Y'all
gotta bring
killed
this
her.
back.
Poor Herb didn't he get to share his? Y'all just cut.
I'm good. No, I'm good, man.
Sorry,
Shoot, this is
man.
gonna be a part 3 series, man. What you talking about?
Yo, check this out. All I was gonna say before, John, how women always say, we this, we that, we dogs, we ain't this, we ain't that. So here's my bit. Here's my one piece of a relation. Here's my one piece of a tip, a relation tip for all women who think like that. Men ain't this, da, da, da. Pick one and shut up. Period.
But like I said, we are a reflection of each other. You understand me? Period. We're a reflection of each other. So if we can say we're a reflection of each other when we're going through good times, what you think we are when we go through bad times? You can't just say, okay, you know what I'm saying? God bless me with this, or the devil made me do it, or when during the good times, when you see him, you see me. When the bad times come, when I see you, I see him because y'all the same individual. You have to realize like y'all reflect each other.
I hear
And
what you're saying. I hear what you're saying,
and I know you're going to disagree
and
with it.
Hold up,
I know you're going to
hold,
disagree with it.
hold, please. Can I speak for myself? Hold, please.
Coach Illy. Can I? Your question in the chat. That's right.
She put
Yes,
something in the chat.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay,
It's all yours.
go ahead.
The person with the agenda and the deception. Ooh.
So
Ooh.
I want to say this. I understand totally what Ja was saying. I get it because he's speaking of reality, reality of the universe. What goes around comes around.
Mhm.
Karma works.
Mhm.
Karma exists. I 100% agree. However, as the process is happening, emotions may be high. And when your emotions are high, you are blind, you are deaf, you are dumb, or you only have a big mouth and never shut up. So there's the part of a person who has no mental um reality. They do not have reality of life and living, and does not take accountability of their thoughts or their actions. They totally disregard you as a human being because they're moving very selfishly, because they are not caring about you, because it's only about them. That would be that narcissistic individual that couldn't give a hoot what's going on, and only that they are getting their piece of the pie. So when a person is going through the go through, and I'm gonna say this, a black woman will do anything for her black man, is a ride or die until you cross her. She will go high, low, do every pit, mud, oil can. She will do it until you cross her. Then you may have a whole different ball game on your hands. But when a person is walking through real reality, they are not looking at, oh, karma is going to get you. The universe is going to come back, not this relationship, the next relationship. Again, I agree. However, when a person is going through the go through, they are not thinking about a karma. Why? Because they, first of all, they think they're untouched.
Mhm.
They think they're untouched. Oh, I'm on top of the world. Especially if you, it's just like a person that's broke and then they get a big check of money in the bank. They a brand new fool until that money gone.
Until it's gone. And I
Until that money's gone. So that whole attitude, that grandiose attitude, that posture that they have, ups. I don't know what you talking about. I didn't want you anyway. What you talking about? Who said that you was all that? You wasn't all of that anyway.
right.
But I was all that when you didn't
when,
have nothing,
when you needed me.
when
When you
you
need
needed me.
You
So
were
that's like, so that right there, a person is not thinking about, oh, well, until the meteor comes around to the moon and the sun. They ain't thinking about that. They not thinking about karma. They thinking about getting theirs, what they want right now.
get that self gratification, that
instant instant
That right
gratification.
now.
yeah,
Instant gratification.
instant,
That
instant,
microwave thinking. That
yeah.
microwave thinking. So I get what you're saying. And
It's
it's not that I don't disagree, but there's a huge part to the left that people are on right now.
and pardon me. It's sad that we are sleeping with the enemy, with each other.
All day, all day, all
We,
day. And I will say women get stuck with sleeping with their enemy because they're so scared to sleep by themselves.
Men do
and
too. Men
hey,
Men
do
do
too.
too.
They're so scared to sleep by themselves. They're scared to, oh, I don't want to be in a bed alone. I don't want to think that, and just like how y'all said, the man could get off work and go to the bar and drink and, go home numb so he doesn't have to feel anything. I
mhm.
get that too. However, that role of, I'm sorry, who of a woman that wants to love their man, want to love a liquor smelled man coming in the door from work. That's not sexy. That does not make me say, baby, I want to make love to you.
Why not? Especially when he
That
drinking.
doesn't. That first of all is the nasty dirt and sweat when you come in the door. Then you're going to add the smoke and the liquor on top of that. That is not sexy.
That's man stuff right there.
No, that is not sexy because we happen to the part that we can drink and smoke together at home. That so we both can.
Okay.
I'll
You
come
gotta
home
catch
early.
up. When I come home, you gotta catch up. Then catch on and catch up.
And so, like, because my thing is at least give the woman the opportunity to say, "Well, babe, I want to have a drink with you." Babe, let's sit down and smoke a cigar together. Can't we walk on the beach and talk about it? So you can deflate your day and I can deflate mine. Like, give us a chance. Sometimes don't just let me stop at the liquor. I mean, at the bar to make myself none because all she gonna do is wah 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 wah. How about maybe that's y'all doing that, thinking that that's what it is. When it's really not, when all we want to do is love you. Damn.
I don't see, didn't love me. Didn't just love me. When I come home,
All we want to do is love you.
But
That's the next topic.
To love you if you coming home drunk, stinking, and we supposed to make love to that. Don't touch me.
We gonna get in the shower together. We get in the shower together
because you stink.
We get in the shower together.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this right here is definitely a
I never go to bed alone, so I ain't worried about it, right?
Listen, I'm not dealing with not. Listen, this is not fiction, baby. This is not fiction.
I never go to bed alone, so I don't
This
care.
is real talk here. So it's like it's yes, both parts play a role, yes, but both parts have to be accountable in all fairness.
Yeah,
like respect what's on a plate, but because don't say I bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan, and what you want to do for me? Excuse me, I need a little bit of. Okay, I don't eat pork, and you bought pork bacon, so you gotta put the give and take. Could you give me the consideration that I don't eat pork, and you bought pork bacon for me to fry up in the pan?
I'm pretty sure that we could give you that consideration, at least three of us. I don't know about her, but
my kitchen is God friendly.
Put the whole iron in the fire. Don't just stick it in there and twist it around and say, "Well, let me shake it and see what come off the tree." Come on, there's a lot of men that do not give women the chance because they so stuck on what happened to them in previous relationships. I just had somebody who did not want to even give me a chance because his wife jammed him up for 30 years. I'm sorry, I didn't do it to you.
Yeah, that's peaceful.
But you're not even giving me a chance, but I know you care for me. And then when I said, well, what's going on? I want to sit down and discuss it. It's like, oh, you're trying to have control over me. How am I trying to have control over you when all I want to do is have a conversation? You doing too much, bro.
Maybe we looked at that's PTSD, bro.
You cannot sit and say you want somebody or want love and have brick walls, stone mountains, and muddy rivers that somebody got to go through. Don't forget the electrical barbed wire here.
And the dragons and the moat and the castle.
All that. That's just not a safe gateway zone for someone to come in. If you say you want love, then you put all of those barriers in between. It's like, hey,
I want you to play with my frog.
You said you was gonna play with my frog.
Watching with class act. Yeah,
you said you was gonna play with my frog.
My deleter.
My frog.
There's Danita. You said you was gonna play with my frog.
I do understand your point. I get it, but there's a certain level of it that you don't give us a chance. So just like you may say women, come at you hard or harsh, or they're always running their mouth or complaining, but if you sometimes if you just again, like I said, don't say I bring home in a bacon and fry it up in a pan. What else you need? I don't eat pork, bruh. I don't eat pork.
I bring in juices and berries.
I tell you, like with myself,
Strawberries,
when I walk in the
whipped
door,
cream,
give me 10,
strawberries,
15
whipped
minutes.
cream, and celery sticks.
Give me 10, 15 minutes. When I walk through the door, give me 10, 15 minutes. Because I'm decompressing. We got to decompress.
Yo,
Everybody
John,
deserves a decompression.
Everybody needs to decompress.
Everybody deserves a decompression.
So
everybody knows when I come home from work, I automatically got an hour.
Give me 10, 15 minutes. I can decompress.
Nah, I need more than that.
But you know, I mean, and all that is good, but it's not good if you do not let it be known. That's the whole point.
Right. That's where communication matters.
But see, the thing about that is, I know what type of woman that I'm dealing with, and she knows what type of man that she's dealing with. Let's put it on the table. At some point in time, the communication, okay, this is what it needs to be. We can't sugarcoat it and play blind forever or naive forever. The reality of it is, I know what type of woman that I'm dealing with, or what type of woman that I have. Just like she knows what type of man she has.
But by way of communicating with one another.
But that's because in the very beginning,
there was no conversation.
No, there was very much conversation. That's the only way that you get a chance to know someone.
No, but I'm saying what people do is when they meet, they do not have that conversation. So, for instance, one of my girlfriends called me the other day. She really cares for this guy. So I said, okay, so did y'all have a conversation? Her response is, I was just trying to be nice. And I said, now that's your fault. That's your fault. You don't let him just take over and violate your space, your mind, your thoughts, and you don't say something. That's her fault.
Because she didn't say anything.
Because she did not say anything.
Right.
So communication is extremely important. You must put both sides on the table so people can have clear understanding so they know how to move.
What was the first thing we did when we were kids and we try to communicate with the girl that we like? We wrote on the paper, do you like me?
I like you.
Yes.
Do you like me? Yes or no?
Right. That's communication. That's the first part.
Right. But you can't put the maybe box in there.
It didn't go past that part. Then you walk around holding hands so everybody can see y'all together. Then you do the kissing by the locker, walking people to class, walking people home, and then just go past that.
But you know the thing, y'all terrible. The thing that the worst thing that you can do is ask a person what kind of man you like, what kind of woman you like. Because when a person asks you that, they're going to pretend to be that individual. That to me should be a red flag to any woman. If a man
asks you, they're pretending though, and what's wrong with asking that question?
Because if you have to accept a person for who they are, they have to. When you come into a relationship, and just say it was me and you, I would have to accept you for who you are, and you would have to accept me for who I am. For the relationship, no, and for the relationship to work. So if I'm asking you, what type of man you like? If that ain't who I am, you're gonna have to accept me for me.
I look at it as a different way, Job, because if I'm asking you what kind of woman do you like,
the one that's breathing.
Hello, slow down.
The one that's breathing.
You're going too fast. If I'm looking to ask that question, my thought process of the reasoning why I'm asking because I want to know what you like. I want to know because there's something in the character of a person, but there's just something plain and simple that you like, just like a flavor of ice cream. I like chocolate. I like cookies and cream. I like vanilla. Like it could be it, and it may. And I'm not really, again, if I'm asking a man that question, I'm more wanting to know, like how do you feel about certain things, or but using different specifics to get a better idea of, because I'm a spontaneous person. I like to give surprises to men. Like I like to you know, make them smile by a surprise. So I'm going to ask you, well, like, what do you like to do? Like, what is your favorite color? Like, do you like to walk by the river? Like, do you like to like, I'm going to ask you specific things. So, and that process is, I'm asking you, well, what kind of woman do you like? Because I would want to know what you like so I can be of your liking, because you can say we could have to meet each other where we're at, but okay, if we on day 4, that doesn't really help me out unless I ask you specific questions.
Pardon.
Well,
You know
I'm
what
gonna
we
say
just
this
said?
as
We
a
just
man.
said what you don't like. I mean, what kind of person that you like? What about let's just reverse that question. What type of person you don't like? Because that
Right.
would give you the more generalization and
Generalization.
specific notions of what you don't like in a man or woman. Instead of saying what do you like, no, tell me what type of person you don't like, because that's not the person I want to be for you. If situations may arise and may trigger that kind of thought. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to think about it in a different concept, and still get the same results we're looking for, but just use different tactics to get it. And I agree with what both of y'all are saying. I'm just saying, let's reverse that role. Let's just say, hey, what type of man do you not like? What are the things that may piss you off in a person or a man or a woman in a relationship? Some things like that. Not saying that I'm going to do that, but I'd rather be aware, because sometimes we do things that we think is right for us, but you may find it disliking or distasteful within you. But I wouldn't know that, because I'm asking you what you like instead of asking you what you dislike. If I
And that's
find
the
out what you
best question.
dislike, and I take that into the best context, then I know certain things already that I see coming. I'm forewarned by what I remember asking you of your dislike, so I'm able to say, hold up, let me not do that, because I know where it can go, and I know where it will take you, and then what it will take us in the process.
That's true. That's very true. And if a man asks you that, then he's sending his representative.
Well, if I ask you,
But
I'm
that's
sending
not
my
necessarily true, though.
yeah.
That's not
Now, hold on. The thing is,
to me
I'm a
that has
man.
an
I'm a
agenda.
man telling you. See, that's the thing. I'm a man telling you that if a man asks you what type of man you want or type of man you like, he's going to send his representative. That's his
John.
best foot forward. That's
If
his
we
best foot forward.
if
If
I
you sit there, if I sit there and I tell a woman what type of man you like, she tells me all these different things, right? These things I'm going to try to match up with, right? Whether they're me or they're not me, I'm trying to match up with this, right? So if they're not me, I'm sending a representative. Then six
What
months
about
later,
just the process of just wanting to
well,
please her?
hold on. 6 months later, when I get to the point where I start showing who I am, that's when it's going to be a problem. That's when it's
Again,
a problem. Of course,
that's
like
for
everybody wants
someone
to be
who has
pleased,
an agenda. That's for someone who
and
has
and
an
and, and
agenda
that's
and wants to be deceptive.
and that's what I'm saying to you. That if an individual asks you this should be a red flag for you. This
I
should be
don't,
a red flag
I don't know what's wrong with asking what type
because
of
if
person do you like? Any,
every time that you've asked a woman what kind of man that do you like, are you with that woman today because you couldn't keep that persona up?
But why, again, like if a person it cares
The,
cares about someone, right?
mm-hmm.
Bye, Herman. Have a good night.
Good night,
Yeah.
Herman. Peace,
Peace,
bro.
King.
If a person cares about someone,
Mhm.
what's wrong with the actual act of kindness to want to please them?
There's not an issue about wanting to please them. That's not even in the equation. Just like KY said, the biggest and the best question to ask the individual is what type of person you don't like. I don't like a liar.
Because
I don't like a cheater.
that could be a setup too, because
I don't like a liar. I don't like a cheater. I don't like a thief. Whatever
but
the
that
case
still
may be,
could be
and I don't like you.
could be a
You
setup.
know what I mean?
Still-
These are the type of things like,
and that person could still be that person.
right. So when you
Because
ask,
I've experienced both. So they could still be that person. It still could be the setup to fail from the beginning because of the agenda that's on the table that person has for you.
Mhm.
And you cannot control that. It's only for you to be aware. But say like a woman that's vulnerable and that's what they do, they're predatory on vulnerable women. They're not gonna see that thing because they're too busy soaking up what they think is love. They're too busy soaking up what they think is they've been missing out of all their lives. I mean, men have played women to the point again, right up to the altar, getting married, and then when they get to the house after the wedding, they show all the way out. You know,
Right.
it's like you're blindsided because you are simply trying to love. And it's
Mhm.
that person being deceptive on purpose with not good intentions. And it's like you can't see that on face value sometimes because of your vulnerability.
One thing I can say personally, I've never asked a woman what type of man she wants. I never asked. That's but because I bring me to the table. I
But
bring
only
me to
you,
the
but see, again, only you know that.
table. I bring
Only
no
you know that.
right. And the thing is,
If I just
just like
meet you, I don't know that.
but
But
the
I
whole
would have
thing
to
is,
learn to trust you
you will
to
have to
meet
learn
you.
me like I learned you. We will have to
But
learn each other.
that's the trust system right there.
That's right. And the whole thing about that is, I would want you to bring you just like I bring me. I'm not going. I'm going to sit and learn you, just like you're going to sit and learn me.
But we do
To
that. You know what?
understand, huh?
Pause, son. That's what both of y'all saying is right and exact. The thing is this. In our lessons, we know the first thing we do to do the knowledge is look, listen, observe, and respect. That's what we do. Before we even approach a woman that we like or a girl that we like when we was growing up, we watched. We watched. We watched what she was doing. We watched who she was with. We watched how she talked. We
Hmm.
would observe all these things before we even open our mouths to her because we're already thinking, does she match my intellect? Or will she like me? I hope that she would like me for my personality. I see her hanging out with the cheerleaders, so I'm gonna try to, woo into that thing. Focus on those are the things that we look at superficially until the real comes. The real is the first part of communication. Hi, how you doing? The receptiveness of this response from the hi, how you doing, gives off that first signal. And then we move on, just like Ilyasa said, we move on from there. We take those baby steps to see where we
Hmm.
going at to be compatible and entwine to one another as we grow. So when we start looking into building a relationship, she already knows the basic foundation of who she's with
Hmm.
because she's already doing it. Once you initiate that communication with her, she's doing the knowledge.
Hmm.
She's looking at you, and
Right.
she's going to observe everything that you did in the beginning. She's going to mimic that with you, who you with, who
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
How do you act when you're not around her?
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because these are the blueprints. These are the blueprints. So when we all bring it to each other, she's like, okay, I can see where a woman gonna let you know right off the bat. A woman will know quicker than a man if she likes you or not, or she'll give you the time of day.
Oh, no question. No
Hands
question.
down.
No
Yeah.
question.
So that's what I say. Man, you know your role to look, listen, observe, and respect. That's foundation right there.
That's
You know
foundation.
what I mean? So all in the process, we have to respect each other's entity within itself, because I don't know anything about you. You don't know anything about me until we converse.
That's it.
And then we start learning each other, as both of y'all said. And that's the first process. And if I'm talking to you the way how I'm talking, you looking at me. There's no representative. You looking at the real McCoy. So any questions you ask, and I give you my answer, the determination of you to accept it or not, it boils down into your court, not mine, because I gave you what I feel is my truth about me, and vice versa. The moment we feel that something in what we say to each other is uncomfortable, then those red flags pops up, and then we gotta defuse that situation in order to move forward. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, like I said, the number one factor is communication. Point blank, period.
That's it. You know what I mean? But I enjoyed this, and we way over time, but I enjoyed this. Next week,
We gotta be
I'll
a
look
part
forward
two.
to it again. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, since we're gonna do the brother and sister show this week, right?
Yes.
We're gonna do the brother and sister show this week. Well,
When we doing it?
that. Huh?
On Wednesday.
On
We're
Wednesday.
gonna do it on Wednesday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait.
Wednesday. Wait a minute.
Coach Illy, you know, I enjoyed you. You know what I mean?
Likewise.
And good luck. And I know you're gonna do well on your speech tomorrow.
Saturday.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna represent all of us very well with something I
Absolutely.
know. All right.
You sending out the link?
Huh?
No, they're pre-recording it. But it's coming out August 25th.
All right.
I before we go, sidebar. Yes, Coach Illy. I text me your email. I made us something.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I put a little bit of that Father Wise on it, so it's gonna be a little something though, you know.
So,
my picture's bigger than all of y'all's, but it's only there for a second or two. That's all.
Congratulations to you all. I just wanted
thank
to say
you.
that. Congratulations to you all.
Yo, you too. That show, I was listening the other day. You saw I checked in. I was like, okay. I was in here. I was vacuuming and I was dusting and I was cleaning up like the old school music. And I was waiting for my mama to come out the kitchen and be like, boy, you turn that up or turn it off, one or the other. So you know how that go. That you threw on that when you threw on that Al Green. And I was like, oh, I was wiping the mirror like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I had Saturday morning vibes.
Right. Y'all have a good one, though.
Yo, John.
Thank you so much. Thank
John,
you.
call me.
All right.
All right.
Thank y'all so
Somebody.
much. Thank you so much
blessings,
for
y'all.
coming. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping by to Where's My Kings, hashtag the men's locker room. And you see, we went along above and beyond the time because it started getting really juicy around here. So next week, we will be back in the Charge Room show. My name is Ilyasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy, aka Minister Charge. And don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. So everybody have a great night.